If you have even a passing interest in animation, the name Genndy Tartakovsky will likely be at least somewhat familiar. He's the visionary mastermind behind the animated microseries Clone Wars, the cartoons Dexter's Lab, Symbiotic Titan, Samurai Jack, and has even ventured into theatrical releases with Hotel Transylvania. Now he's back with a series that is distinctly not for children. A tale of a caveman on the precipice of evolution and a dinosaur on the brink of extinction. A tale of two bonded by blood, tragedy, and survival. Gone is the wacky, brightly coloured hijinks of his after-school cartoons. For those of us that grew up with his genre-defying masterpieces, Tartakovsky has created his magnum opus. Something a little bit more vicious, a little more violent, a little more primal. Primal's story is exceedingly simple. A caveman, who we come to know as Spear, and a Tyrannosaurus, we eventually know as Fang, are united by a tragedy that cuts through both of them. With little else they can do, they move forwards, always forwards, through many encounters that both challenge and solidify their friendship in a landscape that is both prehistoric and, as the series continues, increasingly otherworldly. The plot is that simple. It's just the bones on which the series stands to explore themes of failure, suicide, PTSD, trauma, and the cycle of violence. Ignoring pretty much all traditional and conventional animation stereotypes, Tartakovsky commits to a heavy metal, balls to the wall, purely visual experience. There isn't a word of dialogue uttered throughout the entire series. Plot is communicated through grunts and groans, roars and screams, resulting in a visceral assault on the senses. Primal is not a passive watching experience. If I could compare it to anything, I would evoke Mad Max Fury Road and its plot through action storytelling sensibilities. In fact, the action in Primal is absolutely hardcore. This show is violent and bathes itself in rivers of gore and viscera. The violence in Primal at times makes Rick and Morty look downright juvenile. The action scenes are bold, varied, at times stomach churning and brutal, sometimes unfolding across an episode's entire length. The show clearly draws influences from Robert E. Howard's Conan and the fantastic sword and sorcery imagery of Frank Franzetta's paintings, but it pairs that with a thoroughly modern animation aesthetic. The animation is fluid and striking, all bold lines and dark colours moving in heavy metal harmony. Primal, more than anything, is a show that wants to make you feel every punch, every bite, every growl, everything. Because the show doesn't rely on dialogue, it fills its runtime with some exceptional music by Tyler Bates that strikes a rhythmic, primitive symphony of tribal drum beats and cinematic synth. It's hyperkinetic in execution and demands to be watched on the biggest screen you have, with the volume turned all the way up. Pretty much every scene of this series could be paused, printed, framed, and put on your wall. Tartakovsky's show can make you laugh 1 minute and have you in despair the next. It really is his magnum opus. One of my favourite episodes of this season was episode 4, which opens with Spear and Fang barely one step ahead of a legion of velociraptors hot on their heels. The show just drops you into a white-knuckle chase and expects you to hold on, because the episode doesn't slow down from there. Another standout episode is Plague of Madness, episode 7, in which we're exposed to the primordial world's version of zombies, where Fang and Spear are hunted relentlessly through to a suitably apocalyptic conclusion. The episodic nature of this series means that it can jump around and explore different ideas and different themes without sacrificing its own internal continuity. I binged watched this entire show in one sitting and can confidently declare that Season 1 of Primal is a stellar piece of animation and a bold vision for Tartakovsky. Far more than a story of a man and his dinosaur, Primal is a mediation on loss and trauma, A thrilling story of survival, of overcoming tragedy and adversity. Primal is, by all accounts, an A-plus piece of animation, a heavy metal masterpiece, and a new cult classic in the making. Primal is the very best animated show you're currently not watching. But you should. So thanks for watching this week. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to see more, and as usual, stay tuned for more reviews in the coming days. Later days.